What's up, everyone? Certain people will complain about things in life, just like how they complain about cooking. Now, think about the person who can't cook. He's about to enter the world. He's become a adult, and he's gone out in the world. He or she, and he realizes he can't cook, and he can come up with all these different excuses for how he can't cook. He'll say stuff like, "Oh, my parents never taught me," or "Hey, my parents weren't good cooks anyway, so they couldn't teach me," or "Hey, my parents never took the initiative to even tell me or prepare me for when I went out in the real world and I had to eat my own food, and it's their fault because they didn't prepare me. And so now that I'm an adult going out in the world myself, the only reason I'm starving to death and can't cook and have to go out and eat fast food and order food that's already made for me is because of my parents." And you can make up 1,000 more excuses like this. Some not even relating to your parents. Other things just like, "Oh, I don't have enough money to cook." "Oh, I don't have enough time to learn how to cook," and so forth. Now, obviously, cooking in itself is a very complicated art, and there's a multitude of different levels of cooking ability, and you don't need a top tier 5-star chef level to get by, but decent level. Yeah, this analogy applies very well. Now, with this analogy, apply it back to my main point, which was every single thing in life. A lot of people use the same sort of model to blame everything and anything in life. And the people who do so are the ones who end up failing in life. It's just how it is. For cooking and outside of cooking. Think about it. The people in dating, they'll use the same thing. "Oh, it wasn't served to me on a silver platter." "Oh, how come girls can't approach guys themselves?" And then when they're a girl, they just start looking for other excuses because they can't use that same excuse. How they can't use the excuse, "How come guys don't approach me?" Because that's the traditional way of how it works. And when they realize that not all guys are coming up to them, some of them, not all of them, there's some really cool people out there who aren't just whiners and complainers, but some of them would be like, "Oh, it doesn't work out because this or that, and it's the world's fault." And obviously, you can have a lot of obstacles, but the potential for change is dramatic. And the counterweight to this is it's not easy to make that change. Uh, Back to cooking, the answer to this problem, all these obstacles, is to take the initiative and stop throwing out all these excuses and learn to cook and slash or just learn how to make your own food. And some people are forced to do this because of money issues, and then they finally learn. Others, because they have the money, they just sit on their butts and continue to make this excuse and whine and complain all day and never take the initiative to do anything. Why? Because they were given the situation at hand where they were given the option of just sitting on their butts without taking any initiative to change. And that's probably one of the toughest scenarios to combat. If things were easy, everyone would be able to achieve dramatic levels of success. It's because these things are hard that makes it so tough. And it comes down to like two big drivers of change. You either have to be forced to change, whether through starvation or some other huge event in life that forces you to make a change, otherwise you're going to die, or you have to get off your butt yourself and make that change. Now, obviously, this applies to, you guessed it, fitness, health, and weightlifting. Whether you're training your aerobic body to have a stronger, larger, better heart, and you realize that life is giving you the option of just sitting on your butt and not exercising, whether it's swimming, running, hiking, jogging, cycling, um, or weightlifting. And that motivation that comes from that's a video for that's a completely different video for the whole topic, because it's a long topic where that motivation comes from. Um, but ultimately, if you want this, you have to get it. And most people just somewhat want it, but then they don't have that motivation or drive to get it. And that's fine and everything, but the problem is that some of them fall into this trap of this negativity. They're just spurring negativity and toxicity towards other people, either out of jealousy or just because um, they want to look like they want to pick the picture. They want to paint the picture of helplessness and them being the victim rather than what the truth of the matter is. And sometimes they do it to themselves without realizing it. And ultimately, like, some people will tell them this advice and they will not listen. They'd rather live in this world of I'm the victim, there's nothing that can be done, rather than going out there and trying to overcome their obstacles. When it's finally revealed to them, hey, maybe there's another way. Why? It's hard to say, but there's definitely a level of comfort in laziness and just playing the victim and just believing that fantasy of the world has done this to me and there's nothing that can be done for it, and therefore I was wrong, then there's nothing that can be done. And you see this in all factions of life, and there's always a group in every topic of life that plays this victim card. And ultimately they're shooting themselves in the foot. But it's kind of sad how many people they convince. Think about the people who are obese, who use the same sort of logic. Oh, it's not my fault. The environment did this to me. My parents fed me all this food. And sure, that may all be true, but spreading that negativity and that general belief that, hey, there's nothing that can be done, and there's nothing I can do to change it, and it's too hard to change it, and woe is me. There's nothing that can be done, and the world is a cruel place, and that's such a horrible place to come from, and ultimately you're just wasting your time putting yourself down. Like, why wait? You have so little time on this earth anyways. Why waste it bringing yourself more negativity when you know that's not going to make you feel any better or anyone else? And they even go further as to try and convince other people or spread more negativity. On the flip side, though, we do know that it's tough to change. Life often does have things stacked against us. The obstacles are very tough to losing all that weight, but it's been done by many people. It will be done by many people, and you'll notice that the people who manage to achieve this, whether it's fitness, health, or another topic, business, creating a business that's successful, or getting out there in the dating world, or learning how to cook, or learning how to live your own life, pay your own taxes, be an adult, whatever your parents didn't teach you. All these sort of topics in life, you'll find that the people who are successful at the end of the day are not the whiners. They're the ones who took the initiative and, against all odds and against all obstacles, went above and beyond and ultimately achieved where they're wanting to go. And it was not easy for them. It's never easy. It took a lot of work, a lot of diligence, and a long time. It's a long time commitment. It's not something you just do 1 or 2 days and then you're good to go. And ultimately, some of these people have plenty of obstacles. Even like from what I've seen, some of them you would think they didn't have that much trouble in life. They can. Obviously, there's people who look like they have more trouble who do have more trouble, but ultimately, it's a lot of things aren't easy in life, and at the end of the day, that's what makes it fun. What point would there be if everything in life was just easy and you could have it? If everything you wanted you would just have, eventually over time you would fall into a life of stasis and just indifference to everything. Even the things you wanted a lot, it's simply because of the scarcity and the how hard it is to obtain that makes it so hard to achieve and so much desired. Anything that just comes to you over time, trust me, whether it's food or your hobbies or whatever, it can fall into a state of lethargy and indifference. Um, but that's all I really want to say. And as always, if you like these sort of videos, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, it's free. I'll tell you when my next video is out. And as always, like, favorite, comment, share this video with someone you think would be influenced by it or like it, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.